Hey guys, so Xayah bringing you another video. Welcome back to a Challenger Spectate. Today, I was going to do like a rank 1 spectate, watching the rank 1 player, but I decided against it. So in the recent videos, and maybe even some upcoming, we've had a bit of Yone content recently. I played Yone and it was kind of ridiculous. I've got a Renekton game that's either coming out or it's coming soon that I'm against a Yone. So there's been a lot of Yone discussion, and rank 1 is just spamming Yone and still getting like 20 kills as rank 1 Challenger on EU West, because it's Yone. And then I tried to find another player. A lot of Challenger players not really playing since the patch, so there weren't many replays to go off. The other guy that did have replays also was playing Yone, and I'm not even kidding. So this guy is like top 10 Challenger. We're focusing on LeBLANC today. And like the question is, LeBLANC actually had a lot of play with Worlds. She was actually one of the champions of Worlds 2021. Meanwhile, they're invading, and they put a nice little ward down there. Now, I don't know if Echo knew. I think that with the pings that are going on, they do know this invade is happening. But the question that this video is seeking is Lux still good in preseason? Because I've personally not really seen many Luxes since the item changes, the item updates. Is she any good? Now, another discussion that we can have also in this game is if you notice the Akali is running TP Ignite. So that is very common for assassins, which typically are not teleport champions. It's very common for nowadays. They don't really run flash. They don't really run, you know, they run TP Ignite. Very aggressive. And the reason for it is it's all about the teleport bot lane playstyle. It's been like the biggest playstyle, the biggest move in meta, I would say, in this last year, has been a lot of mid lane assassin players sacrificing their mid lane to go bot lane early with TP. Now, the reason I bring this up is that in this video, we can have a little bit of a discussion about it while the early game is just being played out. Riot's removing that playstyle. If you have not heard yet, they are doing a teleport change. Meanwhile, first blood in bot lane, the GOAT does die. They're doing a change of teleport that is going to make that playstyle impossible. Level 2 for LeBLANC. Does good damage, but also gets a return damage on Akali. What I want LeBLANC to do is really punish the fact that Akali doesn't have flash. But basically what they're doing is the first 14, I think it is, minutes of the game, maybe 15, it's around that area, you cannot teleport to minions. You cannot teleport to anything other than towers. Now, they haven't clarified, I don't think, yet. Does that even include... meanwhile, Yasuo kills Darius, which is quite crazy in top lane early. Does that include Zac blobs? Like, normally you can teleport to save a Zac in the early game. I don't know if that includes that. I honestly think it does. I believe teleport will only be usable on towers for the first 40 minutes in the game. So that does mean you can't... A big play is happening in bot lane. They're having a fight in the middle of the lane. Then typically Akali will go teleport down there. We can even probably see if it happens this game. It might not. But they're getting rid of that playstyle. You cannot no longer do that. So obviously it's a big nerf. Personally, it's not a massive nerf to, I'd say, my playstyle with teleport. I think they are also, by the way, increasing the cooldown of teleport by 30 seconds also. And then after 14 minutes, it goes back to normal, and you can use it on minions again. But, yeah, let me know what you think of it. I'm okay with it, because I'm a little bit fed up with the meta of TP everywhere. You know, kind of screw the lane you're in. I'm going to just TP bot lane. As somebody in Season 11 that mained mid and support, it frustrated me in both ways. In mid lane, my opponent always had teleport and just TP'd bot lane at level 2. So, oh, bye. And then as a support, boom, I've suddenly got a mid laner or a top laner in my lane at level 2, level 3. And I was like, what the hell's going on? So I honestly am all for the meta change that hopefully that won't happen anymore. So far, very good game for blue team. Darius dying twice to a Yasuo with also being doubled in farm. I'd say that is the negative to this Darius's playstyle. I think it's very risky if you notice what he's taken. Remember, this is a challenger game. Ignite Ghost Darius. Now, I don't think that's good. I don't think you need Ignite on Darius. Nice chain. Gets the extra damage. Oh, stops the Akali mid-E. That's really sick. Nicely timed, I guess. But you don't need Ignite to get a kill on Darius. The whole point is surviving and positioning your Q. And that's where Flash comes in handy for Darius. And I honestly think just Ghost Flash for Darius is the peak of summoners. I don't think anything is better than that. Ghost gives you the movement speed to stay on top of somebody. Flash gives you the positioning power to flash Q, to make sure your Q lands. And Darius running Ignite, he doesn't have that Q. And that can make the difference fighting a Yasuo who has Flash, who also has Ignite. And let's be honest, he doesn't need Ghost as Yasuo because he has no problem staying on top of people, really. So, yeah. Early game, though, for LeBLANC, just pretty standard from what we've seen about high-rating LeBlancs. We've obviously watched a few. Lovely poke, and that's the point. LeBLANC is about early aggression, early harass, especially against a melee target. We've obviously seen a couple times recently when Worlds is on, we did some spectates of LeBlanc's playing against Aurelias, and it seemed to be Aurelias they struggle against a good LeBlanc because they can never engage on LeBlanc if she uses her W well, and LeBlanc can kind of keep the Aurelia at range. So 3 people top lane gank the Darius, obviously with no flash, he can't really get away easily, and that included a Leona roam, by the way. Worth knowing, meanwhile, LeBlanc goes aggressive, does get the electrocute proc with the auto attack, very nice, and Akali will most likely have to go back. But worth knowing, the Akali's playstyle is literally the playstyle that I've mentioned, but she's not managed to be able to pull it off this game. She's running Ignite TP that we mentioned. She's also running Predator. It's all about roaming. It's all about not really doing much in mid. That's all that Akali wants to do, is use that power of roaming in the modern day League of Legends. And she's not managed to do it this game. Why? If you notice in bot lane, blue team bot lane is not doing very well. Like KDA wise, it's fine. 003 Lux, 103 Leona, they're doing okay. They have no lane pressure. They're low on farm, and Xayah and Soraka are constantly pushed in, pushing Lux in. So Akali can't TP to bot lane when her ally, like, she can't TP to bot lane because there's no play to be had. Meanwhile, Echo is waiting in a bush a bit randomly, I would say. Like, again, there's 4 bot lane, the roaming playstyle with Predator. Oh my god, I'm so surprised. And she does get a kill. So this is the playstyle I think Riot is trying to target to stop, by the way. Again, I'm happy about it. Look, Akali gets called out. She does probably go down and lets the Soraka heal. Comes up. Oh, they're not together. Can LeBlanc get a clean on Isle enemy team? Let's see. Echo, 1 dead. Akali, 2 dead. Double kill. And Yasuo gets another kill on Darius. Darius is having a nightmare of a game. But there we go. So far, so good. Akali got a roam off. She's been wanting to probably roam this whole lane phase so far, the first like 6 minutes of the game. And that was her first opportunity to roam. Again, would prefer, I imagine the Akali wouldn't be like wanting them to be always under the tower, because then you have to tower dive. But she's still gonna tower dive. Like, that's the point of this person's playstyle. But let me know what you think. Again, are you happy that they're changing the playstyle? Are you happy it's probably going to go a little bit away from roaming? Do you think it's actually going to do it? Like, so some people, the roaming meta has been around now for like basically a year. Maybe some players are just like, no, that is my playstyle now. I'm going to continue playing like that. It's very possible. But yeah. So good farm by LeBlanc. Yasuo obviously has a bit better farm. Just nice chain. And you want to finish the chain to get the extra damage. That's very nice. If we go over the runes, by the way, for Akali. So Electrocute, Taste of Blood, Eyeball Collection, and Ingenious Hunter. Quite rare to actually see people take that. And then Sorcery, Mana Flow Band, Transcendence, and then Attack Speed. Because why Attack Speed? Because, oh, nice W. Trying to bait the Akali into the tower with it. Look at the damage Akali can still deal, by the way. It's crazy. Attack Speed, Ability Power, and then Health. Maybe take... Well, I don't know why they take Health, not Magic Resist. Maybe because Akali technically does duo damage. Nice chain. Darius is maybe tilted. Darius, boy. Darius. Ew. This is a challenger game, everybody. So again, when you look at your own games in solo queue, this is why I like showing this sometimes. When you look at your own games and you see something do that, and then you realize that stuff still happens in challenger. Again, there is no such thing as ELO hell. It's solo queue. That's the point. It's frustrating. It's really stupid that people play like that, but that's the point. People do everywhere. Even in challenger and EU West. So the one that I would say negative thing to the enemy team, not just their comp, like their comp is very aggressive. It's not a bad comp, it's a very modern day comp. The Xayah's build, I absolutely hate. So I'm not just saying this out of like randomness. I've had a few Xayahs do this build. It's the Summon Airy Lethality build. I hate that build. It doesn't, like, the way that I actually had one earlier today, I think on my team, and I don't think it did that well. The way that I would describe it is, if you do typical AD carried build on Xayah, the bulk of your damage is auto attacks, and your bonus damage is if you manage to land a really good E with the feathers, right? It's the bonus. That build is all about the feathers. If the enemy team just positions really well and never gets in the way of your feathers and you never can recall them well on enemies, that build is worthless. It doesn't do anything. It's all for your E. It's all for you put feathers out, like, you know, you ult, or you put Q out, auto attacks, and then you've got 7 feathers to go through somebody. That scales with raw AD and lethality. which obviously does armor pen, etc. And it does a lot of damage. But again, it's only situational that you actually can get those feathers off. The other build, the standard build, is way more consistent. It's the proper AD carry build. Massive big play in bot lane, triple kill for them. Obviously, the game has been going very much the way of blue team. You know, the pressure, like, it's just pressure. Darius is dying solo to a Yasuo. Yes, he did get ganked, but he'd already died, I think, 2 times before that, just against a Yasuo. Here we go, Akali's all in potential. LeBlanc going to try and survive with the nicely timed W, and that's the point. And Akali is 1-1. She was also a level down, and she can still nearly basically one-shot a LeBlanc. Could a LeBlanc basically one-shot an Akali? I'd probably say no. Like, don't get me wrong, she'll do a lot of damage. Meanwhile, Echo is in trouble here. Nice stay by the LeBlanc, being nice and patient, and Zim gets the kill. That's really good patience by LeBlanc. Lovely Leona stun, and once again, Akali with no ignite, Flash, will not be able to get away from this. There's no way. And bada bing, bada boom. Double kill for the Xin. Really nice play for blue team. You know, when I say I don't like roaming, by the way, I'm kind of okay with, like, some roaming. Like, again, I'm not like you have to stay in your lane. I think it's just got a little bit overboard in the last few months, that to the point that people are literally just completely not caring for their lane phase at all to roam. I'm okay with support roams as long as it doesn't punish you in the long run. Like, technically this Leona has been out of lane early, like, to go top lane. That roam now, is that punishing this Lux? Maybe Lux is missing a few extra bits of farm here or there because she doesn't have a Leona with her, but it's not really punishing her. It's not like, oh, Lux is getting dove every single time Leona roams. But that's the point. I have seen games like that. I have seen games like a support roams and they will have none of it. If their AD carries like, please stay, please. Support doesn't care. They are roaming, and then suddenly you have a 0-6 Jhin, and then suddenly that support will be like, why did my Jhin feed? What the hell? Maybe because you left him alone all the time to get tower dove. So that's kind of the point, is you need to be smart with it. Smart roaming, all for it. Occasional roaming, all for it. The constant roaming, that you're not even thinking about it, you're just doing it because that's the natural thing to do now, that's where I'm a bit like, yeah. But just what I will say is also, nice chain, LeBlanc, Akali caught sleeping a bit there. Very clean LeBlanc play. Like, nothing really, nothing bad to mention. Everything has been clean. Has been some, you know, close moments that they've had to play near perfectly. Like, timing that W, by the way, when Akali did the second ult. If LeBlanc mistimed that, she was dead. Like, that Akali was going to kill LeBlanc. But she really timed it well. And even if she mistimed it the wrong way, meanwhile, big TP play bot lane. Yes, Akali TPing bot lane. Again, that is the play literally here. That is the play Riot is getting rid of. They are stopping you using teleport to bot lane. That is literally what they're doing. And I think that'll be coming into effect next patch. Oh, big play! Lovely kill on Xayah. And I don't know why, completely, if I'm honest. I don't know why LeBlanc returned to her W. I don't know if that was a mistake. I think she could have probably continued. She stole the cannon then. I think she could have probably just continued to kill the Echo because he was low. So, yeah, I don't know. That was a bit weird. Tower plating disappearing soon. LeBlanc has got 2 tower plates in mid lane total. Akali's looking to see if she can get 1, but it's not going to happen. Again, whenever this matchup, by the way, I do think it's a semi-skill matchup, because, like, if you do a slight mistake, Akali will just kill you, no matter really what. But if LeBlanc plays it really well, kind of like the Aurelia matchup, you can stop Akali really doing anything to you. And also, especially if LeBlanc is near her tower, Akali has to be really careful with using her E. Because if LeBlanc has got W and just W's into tower while Akali is on her way with E, you're now in tower. You have tower aggro straight away. So Akali does have to be careful. You've got to respect the LeBlanc, and, you know, like LeBlanc has to respect the Akali. If the Akali, you know, the LeBlanc slightly misplays, Akali does okay in her play, I'd say. LeBlanc's dead. And maybe, again, that's the difference of what we've mentioned recently, is the difference between old champions and new. And I would count Akali as a new champion. She has a modern rework to her, and this might be a mistake, but luckily for her, Leona's in the area. Nice chain CC. LeBlanc waiting for her W, lands the kill. Very nice. But again, without Leona, that was a bit iffy. I count Akali as a new champion with her modern day rework, and that's the way that I would like. what's the main definition? You know, Vex and Orianna, when I uploaded that video you would have seen a couple of days ago, is like I do like a lot of the new champions, or some of them. Best example is Vex. I love Vex. The way that I would describe modern day versus old, so like, you know, even Yasuo versus Yone, that might be a great example. Yasuo is less forgiving than Yone. Akali is more forgiving than other assassins, like modern kits. Modern kits, to me, and let me know what you guys think, seem to be more forgiving, but deal maybe the same, if not more damage than their equivalents as older champions. So they're more forgiving, and they deal more damage. Like, I would... Again, Yone's more forgiving than Yasuo. He's got... two escape routes, like he can engage from half a screen away with his E and ultimate, or he can use his ultimate to escape. Yasuo can't do any of that. Well, he can, if someone knocks somebody else up, Yasuo can ult in, but Yasuo can't then escape easily. But then I would also wager that Yone on average does more damage than Yasuo. So that's kind of how I would define old versus new. Again, Vex, pretty forgiving in a lot of places, and I love that champion. She does an insane amount of damage. She's got high mobility. Nice, really nice Leona ult there, and boom, just blows up the Akali, and that's what you like to see. So, you know, people may say to me like, Huz, look, LeBlanc's one-shotting or beating the Akali in 100-0. Yeah, she is now, with being 602 and pretty damn fed on items. If you look into the gold, by the way, the LeBlanc has 7.7 max. Akali's only got 4.4. So yeah, maybe someone that is over 3,000 gold ahead should be probably one-shotting you, as, again, LeBlanc is also herself a mage assassin. But to be fair, just to also mention, if, again, I do truly believe in a 1v1 situation, purely 1v1, if this LeBlanc misplays a little bit, and this Akali plays it averagely, LeBlanc is still probably dead. That's the point. Walking forward is the Soraka a bit weird. So overall, I would say this was a bit more of a stop than I was planning to record, so apologies for that. Meanwhile, Darius gets a kill, goes down. What I would say is maybe not the best game to record on a hindsight. Sorry. But let's use this as kind of a league discussion episode. Hopefully you guys don't mind. We've spoken about the new teleport change, how that's getting rid of roaming. We've spoken about kind of new versus old champions in a way. Let me know what you think about the topics that we spoke about. Again, apologies, the game quality was just a complete stomp. Again, I looked at the game and LeBlanc's damage is insane, really high. So what I thought this game was, I thought this game was a LeBlanc basically solo carrying the whole game. Turns out, no. Everybody just did really well, apart from really the blue team bot lane. They've not done well. 1-3 Lux. She's getting out-farmed by 60 farm at 17 minutes. So it's not like it's a proper stomp, but again, lethality Xayah can't really do much anyway, to be honest, but because Lux can just stay away from the feathers. That's the point. So, yeah. I don't know if there's any other topics that I want to bring up in this video. I don't know. But yeah, let me know what you think of the discussions. As I've always said, I love doing kind of league discussion topics about how everybody feels about the game health. It's actually something that I have a genuine passion in. But yeah, so obviously top lane, complete stomp. 8-0 Yasuo, no assists as ever versus a 0-9 Darius with half farm. Don't know if maybe Darius has quit the game, which again does happen in Challenger. So that's another topic we can bring in. As we mentioned earlier, there's no such thing as ELO hell. It's just solo queue in general. You saw this Darius basically into a tower as a Challenger player, and now it looks like he has gone AFK. AFKs, rage quits, ragers, toxic people, they all happen in Challenger as well. They don't just happen in Silver or Gold or Platinum. They happen everywhere. That's why I've said it's the solo queue experience. Meanwhile, LeBlanc's going to look for a pick. Here we go. Over the wall, doesn't find them, well, finds 3 people and decides to get the hell out of there. So that's good. And what blue team should be looking pretty much to do is just group end, don't mess around, get the game done. And, you know, because again, you never know. Big damage by LeBlanc, doesn't get the kill, but forces Soraka to heal quite a lot. Xayah's also ulting. Yasuo going onto tower, does get feathered. That's the point. He got feathered. How did he get feathered, by the way? That's the point. Xayah had to use flash to reposition for her feathers. You can't do that every single time with that build. Every 5 minutes you can do a play with your feathers. It's not great. The feathers should be, to me, used as a bonus play rather than the play, if that makes sense. Anyway, blue team's going to continue. Even though they're down a number, they're fed enough that if they're careful, they should be fine. They've got Rift Herald, so they're going to try and push it in. And Darius is bot lane. So again, that top laner that's raged out has gone 0-9. The game's ending. Where's the top laner? He's chilling in bot lane, being kind of the typical rage playstyle. So again, it happens in every single rating in the game. Right, nice play so far. Xin lands the W. LeBlanc going in, gets that legendary. Xayah's dead, which is their main person that they have to be a bit worried with, I would say, so far this game. Continuing the push, and this is the point. So many people, including potentially myself, would be like, oh, dude, we're low, we should back out. When you have the momentum and you can end the game, end the game. End the game as quick as you can, because that makes you win and it gives less chance for the enemy team to make a comeback. Darius gets a kill on the Leona. He'll probably be happy because that's his first kill of the game. And there we go. So again, apologies, this wasn't really the game that I was expecting. I will just say the damage done of what made me watch this game in the first place. And, you know, maybe I did the mistake that I didn't look at actually of all their KDs, because I was like, oh, the Lux bot lane did terribly, the Yasuo did good, and the LeBlanc basically dealt, I think, around double damage anybody else. That's why I watched this game. I was like, oh, damn, that LeBlanc must have carried by herself. And she did really well, but no, it was a Xin doing pretty good and the Yasuo stomping a Darius. So, yeah, but treat this as a league discussion, which hopefully you guys don't mind too much. If you did enjoy it and you like the flow of the discussion, please do join in down below in the comments. Also, subscribe, like, that stuff helps out too. But anyway, it's going to be it. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace.
Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace. Restore our glory to live forever. Bring down the dark regime. I know how to unleash eternal peace.